Hi students, welcome to Amplify Academy. We are starting with the second chapter of grade 10 CBSE. So the chapter name is Polynomials. To start the chapter, I'll give you a background. What does the chapter contain? So to understand that, we will better, recall and recollect. If not, give it a fresh start of looking at polynomials, as you had it in grade 9 also. So you must be thinking from that perspective, which is absolutely correct. But let me start over. So here we're having polynomials. The definition speaks that it is a combination of constants and variables. So when I say constants, I technically refer to anything like a fixed value, 3, -6, √2, okay, 5 by 7. All of this which does not change its value, they're called constants. Variable could refer to X, Y, and Z. As you know, it could be A, it could be M, it could be N or Z, or any value alpha, any kind of unknown value which keeps changing on every occasion, depending upon the scenario. So combination of constants and variables form what we call it as polynomials. Okay, they can be separated by additional sign or subtractional sign. This is simple logic, simple base level understanding of polynomials. Now let's go one step down, one step more inside deeper. So here polynomials will have to understand there's something called as terms. Sometimes polynomials would have one term. Sometimes they'll have two terms or three terms, which is not very, very important. But I'll just show it to you how does it look like. So one term expression could be 7 or 8x or -3y. Okay, it could be anything, but there's just to be only one term. There's no plus or minus sign separating it. Two term is where you're having 3x plus 5 or 7x plus 3y. Okay, such two terms which are separated by plus or minus sign. And three term could be your expressions which are having three different values, three different terms to be precise, like a plus 7b minus 6. This is freedom. And we have certain names also we give it to them. That's monomial, binomial, trinomial. We've been learning this from grade 7. So you must be knowing that. So I'll not go deep into that, just to give you a background of what polynomial contains. This is now second layer. Now let's go to third layer. The third layer here, we'll talk something about the degree of polynomial. The degree of polynomial here refers to the power of the polynomial. So as you know, the polynomials can only have powers. That the degree of the power should always be a whole number. Okay, the power should be a whole number. It means you cannot have a polynomial with a degree with the variable having the power as a fraction or negative numbers. Whole number starts from 0, 1, 2, 3. So the power should only be of that sort. So degree. So we'll come to that in a minute. For example, a polynomial I'll take 3x square plus 5x plus 7. So here you can see this is a polynomial. There are three terms in the expression. One is 3x square, 5x, and 7. We look at the terms which have variable in them. So variables you can see are 3x square is 1 and 5x. Though the variable is same x, but the power will make a difference. So it's 3x square over here and it's 5x over here. So we will say that we look at the one which has the highest. So when I say 5x, it means it's 5x to power 1. Okay, so that is how we represent it in exponential form. When I say 5x, it's 5x power 1, technically speaking. So the highest power here is 2, right? So that's going to be our degree. So the highest power is going to be 2, hence the degree of the polynomial is 2. Sometimes we'll have expressions which are more complicated, like 7x cubed plus 9x squared plus 15x plus 10. So you have so many expressions. But if they ask me to find a degree, the degree will be again the highest power. So again here, you look at the variables. These are the variables, and the power they contain is 3, all right, 2, and there is nothing there, so it's understood it's 1. If there is a variable without any power, it's understood it's 1. Okay, so it's 15x power 1 plus 10, as you know, it's a constant, so that's not going to be a variable. The highest power here is 3, so degree of this polynomial is 3. Sometimes we will just have a simple equation like 3x. I used the word equation, but they are actually not equation, they are expressions. Let me recorrect my word. Let's write a simpler expression, 3x plus 5. 3x plus 5, okay? You might be thinking, why am I giving everything in terms of x only? But in 10th grade level, now what happens is you have all the expressions to be dealt with single variable. Okay. In the chapter polynomial, we are only dealing with one variable at a time. We're not mixing up variables and making it complicated. Like in different chapters you'll come across later stages, you'll have multiple variables to deal with, like x and y. But in polynomial chapter, 99% of time we only deal with single variable, that's x. Okay. So keeping that exam point of view in mind, so 3x plus 5, here the highest power is 1. Degree will be 1. Okay. Now, if I just take 5, is this a polynomial? The first question. The answer is yes. So I told any expression which has the power of the variable as 0, 1, 2, 3, right? I told the power should be a whole number. So though I do not have an x term over here, but I can write this 5 as 5 into x to power 0. 5 into x to power 0, right? Just to make it a little neater. 5x to power 0. Because I know that x to power 0, anything to power 0 is 1. So technically, 5x to power 0 is a polynomial with degree as 0. So any given number will be a polynomial in that manner. Okay, so degree is 0 for such numbers. They are polynomials, but the degree will be 0. But what about 0 then? If you take a number 0, is this a polynomial? The answer is yes, it is a polynomial, but the degree of this is undefined. We do not know what is the degree of this number because it is not even a constant. I mean, it's a constant which does not have values. It's nothing, right? 0 represents nothing. So if you want to put it in terms of variables, we say the degree of it is undefined. So this is how we understand the degree of the polynomial. So to put it in simple sense, again to summarize it down, polynomials are expressions containing constants and variables separated by plus or minus sign. Okay, the condition is the powers should be whole numbers. When you say the powers, it means the variables what you're having, the power of that. Here we can see this. So the powers should be only whole numbers. You cannot have uh, questions like 3 root x, or we cannot have uh, 3 by x or 9 by 7x. These are not acceptable as polynomials. Why? Because the power, if you simplify it down, you get 3 into x to power 1 by 2, which is not a whole number. And here 3 by x is 3 into x to power minus 1, which is also not a whole number. The power is not a whole number. And here it is 9 by 7 into x to power minus 1, which is also not a whole number. Such scenarios where your powers of the variable are not whole numbers, they are not polynomials. So once you understand the concept of polynomials in this sense, it will be more easier for you to start the chapter because this is the beginning to explain what is polynomials. So I hope this video helps you understand the polynomials more simpler manner. Thank you.